All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the College of Casting coming to you once again to bring you another lovely tournament from our collegiate community. Today we will be covering the King of the Bay tournament, which features teams from Cal State Berkeley and the University of Stanford, or Stanford University. Do I have that backwards? I may. Okay, I'm Petus Nestle, and today I am joined by...
They call me Potato Champ.
Potato Champ. Okay. So, we've got some quick bans coming out here. We will see Hecarim, Renekton, Sona, and Draven dropped out early. As we don't know either of these teams right now, we don't know if these are pointed bans or just general bans they don't want to see.
Yeah.
And
not even really sure if they've played each other before.
Yeah, that we've got a lot of unknowns.
A lot of
here,
support bans coming out from the blue side.
Yeah, that is really interesting, but you know, Sona has had a huge appearance in the LCS as of late, and it's that lockdown ulti, and we will actually see the third support dropped out here as Thresh is going to
Gotta get rid of that Thresh. As a support main, I can say with confidence that he is ban worthy 100%. If you're not picking him, you need to get rid of him.
Yeah, and Elise first pick here. It'll be interesting to see where Elise goes. Once again, it's a very flexible champion. It can either be a top, it can be a jungle. Heck, I've even seen it mid, support.
Yep. Current player that has it's got exhaust on there, so we might actually get to see a support Elise. That's always interesting.
Yeah, you don't see a whole bunch of trading come out in the collegiate scene since most of them have their pick orders set up.
Right.
Alright, looks like we will see Misfortune. So, Misfortune, kind of the very popular AD carry of the moment. It's usually either picked or banned in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes team fighting a breeze when you can set up shop and drop this giant AoE.
Oh yeah, those fast bullet time combos with any other kind of setup. Zera was actually what I was thinking. Oh wow, but they might be thinking about switching the MF. They're just messing with us now. They want that Volibear.
Okay.
Alright, so it is going to be Zera. So that's that nice AoE combo with the ultis going on there.
So I think we can probably assume
real quick lock in on Zac.
Yeah, they will probably keep that up with their champ selections. They'll probably pick more AoE damage, more CC, get a tank line in front of the Misfortune, and just protect Misfortune while she gets everything off.
Yeah, definitely.
Now the blue team here, they have the opposite mindset. These guys want to get on Misfortune whenever she does anything.
Oh yeah. Really big hard engage comp.
Yeah, you've got that Zac, who can use his elastic slingshot to get to the back line. You'll have Elise's Repel jumping in on people. You've got the Shumpo coming in from Katarina. All really great moves that can really disrupt those large-scale team fights. And there's the Caitlyn. Just someone that can... The one champion that's going to outpoke Misfortune in lane.
Oh yeah, as far as safe 80 carries go, you can't really go wrong with Caitlyn. That range comboed with her farm ability. Late game just takes it away sometimes.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see what the purple team pulls out here. They're going to need some pretty solid defense right now. And they go with Ahri.
Okay, so they're gonna pick up a little bit more CC. Okay, so they're going for like a... Well, maybe not. I'll hold off judgments until they actually lock somebody in.
Yeah, really. Saying they're going to pick any champions before time is up it's almost a crapshoot.
Definitely. Alright, so he keeps looking at that Kha'Zix. And he's been hovering on Kennen for a while, so that might be... Oh, back to the Ahri.
And it will be Kennen.
That last minute swap.
he tried to get us, but we're too good.
Too good for him. Okay, so they're adding in the Kennen to get a bit more of that AoE stun lock going on, and then the Kha'Zix is just going to do his waddle all over the map, cleaning him up after the AoE's finished.
Oh, interesting. You could see a Lissandra come out for the blue team here, which... Okay, now they just actively want to troll us. I know when I am being fooled with, good sir. So coming out on the AoE team comp here, do you think we could quite possibly see the Korean murder bug come out this game? because Kha'Zix has had a huge amount of play in Korea as of late, after people shifted from upgrading his ultimate to upgrading his Q. Just adding in this whole huge extra amount of burst damage to him.
Yeah, I definitely think the main focus of their late game is going to sort of shift towards the Kha'Zix really bringing in the majority of the damage, because the AoE, that's going to get shut down once somebody picks up an Aegis of the Legion and eventually a Bulwark. We'll probably see that pretty quickly just because of how much total AoE and CC they have on their team. And the Kha'Zix will really be sort of like that guillotine that finishes them off and gets those resets and just jumps all over the map.
Yeah, very good point. And they are going to bring in another CC artist there, as they will bring in
They're
Jarvan
thinking
or
about the
Amumu,
J4
really.
and the Amumu, yeah. And both good picks for their team comp.
Yeah.
J4's definitely been more of the norm in this season. I assume just because his aura, his mobility on the map, he's just been a really powerful jungler this season. That's been a big theme, is mobility, and his lancing over walls into the dragon pit so he can get around the common ward placements have really increased his popularity this season.
Yeah, and especially his ulti getting in there, dropping down the ring,
Oh
keeping
yeah.
people in a certain area, really helps when you have these AoE team comps, because it's just keeping people in. It's pretty much assuring. I mean, I've heard the term Thunderdome drop down, and it's just, hey, when you enter, only one of us is leaving, and it's usually the one that has the AoE team comp behind them. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have a really strong engage and mobility team, because we'll see Zac and Elise get in. Lee Sin, one of the best champs of getting in and out of team fights. Caitlyn is so hard to get at. If she's going to be caught in this AoE damage, there's definitely a problem with positioning there.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have sort of like this disengage / suddenly re-engage feel about them, where they'll poke in and out and sort of try and get somebody to overextend just a bit and then really turn on them hard, drop down that Rumble ultimate to zone the rest of the team, cut off the retreat, and then let the Lee Sin, the Zac, and the Elise really get in that back line. And it looks like we are going to see the support Elise, so I'm always a big fan of that one.
Yeah. Now, you did mention this. They're going to have a very hard time to getting Caitlyn on the back line. She's going to have a heyday unless someone like Jarvan or Kha'Zix works their way through this really tanky front line.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ward fight, to be honest. Like, who can control the objectives, who knows who's moving on the map, and who gets caught out. Because both teams have a lot of burst and a lot of CC. So we're definitely going to see some really good team fights.
Yeah, this will be definitely an interesting matchup to come out. And I'm kind of looking around at some of the bans and just wondering. And I guess, yeah, they probably picked the Zyra after the Sona went off the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there wasn't much left on the support board after they got done with them.
It was left pretty desolate. It will be interesting to see how this Zac comes in. Zac still hasn't had a whole bunch of play. A lot of people still trying to pick and choose what they want from him, because he can be a very versatile champion. He can either really be a good engaged tank, just in there soaking up damage, using his passive to soak up damage without dying. He can really be a distraction with just being tanky. Or I've seen a lot of people build a very durable AP build on him, and just using his percentage-based health damage just to keep on reapplying it, and he can be pretty deadly like that.
Yeah, I've actually had a good bit of experience with Zac. I played him a bit on the PvE before he came out, and I honestly think they completely overbuffed him before release. Setting all of his abilities to 4% has just made him entirely too sustain heavy. He can spam all of his stuff. He can go back into the jungle at 10% HP and stay there for as long as he wants. Zac lives in the jungle. Like, his biggest advantage is probably his ability to get to 6 faster than the other jungle. And that's really when he starts making his plays.
Yeah, very good point. Once he gets that last bounce, he really does put out a good solid amount of DPS.
Alright, looks like that delay's just now finishing up.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to head in and start what is probably the most exciting time for all shoutcasters, the Skin War. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Skin War. The longest war any of us have ever known in League of Legends.
A battle that has been fought many times.
Many times, never completely won, never completely lost. Alright, looking at it, we do have a Dragon Fist Lee Sin. Always nice. So cool he has to wear sunglasses. Actually, 2 sunglasses teams. I guess, yeah, between the Dragon Fist Lee Sin and Officer Caitlyn, I think they were ready to face a Leona.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact for kids at home, in case you don't know, any champion skin that has sunglasses on actually receives one damage less from Leona's passive proc Sunshine.
Turns the tide of battle.
Yeah, you never know when that one
damage
is mean all the difference. That's why I always just counterpick it. I see Leona, I'm like, oh, I need that champion with sunglasses, man. I just can't take all that damage coming out from the support. Okay, on the other side, we only have one other skin coming out, and that's going to be the Arctic Ops Kennen. So, I guess it's a 2-1 win for the top.
Not looking too good for purple side. They're definitely starting off with a slight disadvantage in this game.
Yeah, noticeable disadvantage here. We will say from the borders, we can probably take a good solid guess that the team on top here is probably a little bit more experienced, but that does not mean that this game is over, not by a long shot.
Definitely.
It just means that one team may have a little bit more of an advantage originally, but I know from watching this game enough that upsets do happen, and they happen with some pretty good regularity.
I know the borders are actually from the previous season, so who knows, some of these players may even have raised their ranking since then. We could see some excellent play from them. And also the fives are entirely different from solo queue. Just the team coordination, it makes all the difference. Once you get past like gold range, you see a big change in the way that people sort of start to interact. It becomes like common knowledge that you sort of are supposed to collapse on certain objectives and follow your lane. You sort of start to see those team mechanics like developing, and it's just because the communication really isn't there at the lower levels.
Yeah, most definitely. Sorry, I had to step away and address something really quick. So yeah, we are going to... It is something I have noticed by covering the college series enough, is when you have some of these maybe less experienced teams that maybe don't have the same high-level play, you tend to see a lot more AoE team comps come out. People try and get in with some very basic theory crafting to maybe try and cover up some of the holes in their individual performances.
Yeah, it definitely sort of lets them play that turtle style where they can hunker down at a tower with 3 or 4 of their people while somebody deals